This is part 2 of my Japanese mythology and BlazBlue video. If you want to watch the first part, the link is in the description below. So without further ado, let's just move on to the video. And after spending a whole time trying to dodge it, now we finally reached the Black Beast. We already know about the Black Beast, giant snake thing. I just have to say thing because that's pretty much what it is. But it's not the Black Beast we're going to be talking about now. We're going to be talking about the Yamata-no-Orochi. The Yamata-no-Orochi, or basically meaning 8-branch great snake in Japanese, is a giant 8-headed snake that was eventually slayed by Susanoo. As we all know, that Hakumen was the one who finished off the Black Beast, and it kind of, relates to that, obviously. Hakumen was the one who finished off the Black Beast. Hakumen is in the Susanoo unit. The Black Beast is the Yamata-no-Orochi. Yeah. But in a funny way, it also does a reverse, because when Ragnar was going against Terumi, basically Ragnar was considered the Black Beast at the time. And technically the Black Beast is the Yamata-no-Orochi. So Ragnar basically is the Yamata-no-Orochi at this time, while Terumi, obviously Susanoo, basically Ragnar was the one who killed Terumi. So technically it was like the Yamata-no-Orochi killed Susanoo instead of the other way around. So yeah, that's also another thing. Another thing is that, as I said before, I talked about the Kusanagi no Tsurugi before, the sword basically that was renamed from the Ame-no. And the Kusanagi actually was created from the tail of the Yamata-no-Orochi after Susanoo slayed it. After he slayed it, he was able to cut off his tail, and that became the Kusanagi no Tsurugi of today. So that's also something I wanted to say that was interesting. It's kind of weird that the whole sword came from his tail, but the Yamata-no-Orochi is kind of weird to talk about because it's just a giant monster snake that had 8 heads. Now, before we get off to that, I also have to mention something else that kind of ties in with the Yamata-no-Orochi, and that is Kushinada. Now, in BlazBlue, we already know about Kushinada. If you ever heard of Kushinada, you will think of the Kushinada's linchpin, basically, the thing they're supposed to use to seal the boundary off. Hit into the cauldron to seal the boundary off. But the funny thing about it is, in the actual mythology, Kushinada, or otherwise known as Kushinada-hime, or technically, Princess Kushinada, she was a daughter of 2 earth gods known as Ashinazuchi and Tenazuchi. Now, she was going to originally be sacrificed to the Yamata-no-Orochi. As said by Tenazuchi and Ashinazuchi, they originally had 8 daughters, but each and every time the Yamata-no-Orochi would devour them because the parents sacrificed their children in order to stop the beast's rampage. And then Susanoo came across them one day and said, "Hey, what's wrong?" And they told him the story. And so Susanoo went off to go find Kushinada and save her, which basically got him the battle to fight off the Yamata-no-Orochi in the first place. So after Susanoo killed the Yamata-no-Orochi, he and Kushinada, he was so baffled by Kushinada's beauty that he basically married. The 2 got married right off the spot right there, and it just made me think that was funny because if I had no idea how to allude that to BlazBlue because obviously some of these mythological terms don't tie with one another. I don't blame Mori because I don't do it myself. I only do it very few. I actually just tie the mythology to very few things. I personally don't. It depends on what I'm trying to tie it to. I honestly don't do it. I just like the names, I like mythology and folklore and junk like that, but I mostly use it for namesake. I don't know why. It's just the names sound cool, and I feel like the stories will sound cool if I just found a way to tie them into it, but I'm getting distracted. The point is, that's Susanoo and that's Kushinada from BlazBlue to the myth. So, yeah, that's that's it. Finally, we reached Gigant Taki Mikazuchi. Now, I honestly don't have much to say about Taki Mikazuchi, really. There really isn't much to say about him, really. Now, we already know about Gigant Taki Mikazuchi. The 10th Noxnic Taurus, big giant monster thing. I'm saying that a lot about a bunch of... I'm saying that about a bunch of things. But yeah, it's a giant monster. Alien, Black Beast-looking bastard. But in actual Japanese mythology, Taki Mikazuchi, or otherwise known as Taki Mikazuchi-no-Kami, is one of the Japanese gods of thunder. His name means the brave, also possessing deity, but with a few different kanji, his name could basically mean thunder god. As I said before, there's not much to say about Taki Mikazuchi because its mythology is kind of... I wouldn't say screwed up, but it's kind of it has different interpretations. Now, it's either a wrestling god, which I think it is, or just a regular god of thunder, or just both. And I'm not even going to go into great detail about it because it's kind of hard to get on. But the point is, all you have to know is that Takemikazuchi-no-Kami is one of the Japanese gods of thunder. That's pretty much all you need to know. That's that's literally it. Next, we finally reach to Mu 12's moves. Not Mu 12 herself, because we already talked about her being, Kushinada, but her actual moveset. Because in the Japanese version, her moveset is actually ties back to Japanese mythology. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the number notations. If you know about Mu 12, you should know about her moves. I'm terrible at saying number notations, and I'm terrible at saying just stuff like that on the fly. So what I'm going to do is just say her moveset, and just say what mythology they tie to. So her Pillar of Light move, her Exceed Excel, is in Japanese is actually called Tsuchi Ikazuchi. Tsuchi Ikazuchi means Earth Thunder, and is born from the right arm of Izanami. Now, before I get to that, I have to mention that there were after Izanami was burnt to death by Kagetsuchi, there were several gods that were born from. I'm just gonna get gross with it. There was a bunch of gods that were born from her vomit, her feces, other crap about it. Like it's gross. But and her arms and legs and all that crap. But yeah, it's gross. But Tsuchi Ikazuchi was born from her right arm. Now we get to her Totsuka blade. The funny thing about it is, in Japanese, her move Totsuka blade is actually called Ame-no Totsuka. Accurately, it's supposed to be called Totsuka no Tsurugi, or basically meaning Sword of Totsuka or Sword of 10 Links. The localization is actually more accurate to the mythology than Mu's actual move, because Ame-no Totsuka is basically what, Heavenly Totsuka, or like Heavenly 10 Links. So it doesn't matter really, but in the English version it's called Totsuka blade. In the Japanese version, Totsuka no Tsurugi, that's what's supposed to be, not Ame-no Totsuka. Totsuka no Tsurugi is supposed to be basically being Sword Totsuka. So basically the localization got it right. Now I reach Tokotachi Blade, one of her newer moves in Central Fiction. And the name comes from Kuni no Tokotachi, one of the two gods that rose from the chaotic Earth. When the Earth was basically, new, it's all chaotic now. Kuni no Tokotachi is one of the two gods that came from there. Her move Origins, in the Japanese version, is called Tsunugui, and it's one of the Kami-yo Nanayo. And as I mentioned before in my previous video, the Kami-no Yanayo were basically a generation of 7 powerful gods. Wisdom of the Divines in the Japanese version is called Amoikane, and Amoikane is a god of wisdom and intelligence. Its name technically means along the lines of thinking together or serving one's thoughts. Basically, Amoikane has something to do with thinking and thoughts and stuff like that. And finally, we reached our final move, Blessed Mirror, otherwise known as Yata no Kagami. Yata no Kagami technically means 8-span mirror, and I mentioned before in my previous video that it was one of the Imperial Regalia of Japan. Just to get a little refresher course, there was 3 Imperial Regalia of Japan. I already mentioned the Yasakani no Magatama, which Izanami had. I'm stalling here. I'm sorry, my brain's falling. Okay, the Yasakani no Magatama, which Izanami has. There's the Yata no Kagami, and finally there's the Kusanagi no Tsurugi. So that's the 3 Imperial Regalia of Japan. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And now I'm about to reach to the worst part of this video, because it is a lot to get in, and they're gonna be about the hierarchical cities, and I gotta be ready for that. And now we finally reached the last part of this video, and the main reason why I split these videos into 2. The 23 hierarchical cities are actually named after technically the very first 23 children of Izanami and Izanagi. So there are 23 to go through, and I don't know whether I should just blaze through them or just, let it go. But other than that, I might as well go through it at lightning speed, because this is a lot to go through, and I will try my best to go through them as best way I can. So we're going to start with city number 0 of Izanagi. Now the thing about Izanagi is that it's technically Ishana endgame, the 0th city, or it's otherwise, Ishana. But in actuality, in the Chronophantasma material collection, the city is referred to as Izanagi. So we'll call it Izanagi. So because Ishana kind of ruined the whole theming of all this. And Izanagi, we already know, is, one of the creator gods alongside Izanami of Japan. So, yeah, there's Izanagi. The first hierarchical city of Okoto is named after Okoto-shio-no-Kami, the first of Izanami's children. Now, all these children will follow a set pattern because they're all technically Izanami and Izanagi's children, but they're basically, you know, named after such. Like, oh, the first god is the first child, the second city is the second god, the third city is the third god, you know, so on and so forth. So there's that. The second hierarchical city of Iwasuchi is named after Iwasuhime-no-Kami. The third hierarchical city of Iwasu is named after Iwasuhime-no-Kami. As I said before, each number city is correlated to the number of the child. So basically, I don't have to say third child, third city, fourth child, fourth city, so on and so forth. The fourth hierarchical city of Naobi is named after Kanayama-Yamabime-no-Kami. Yeah, I definitely butchered that. The fifth hierarchical city of Ibukido is named after Ibukido-nushi. The sixth hierarchical city of Yabiko is named after Oyabiko-no-Kami. The seventh hierarchical city of Kazamotsu is named after Kazamotsuwake-no-oshio-no-Kami. The eighth hierarchical city of Wadatsumi is named after Wadatsumi-no-Kami. And the thing interesting about Wadatsumi is that it's a sea god. It's also called Ryujin or Ryujo. Either one of those lines. Ryujin's a dragon god. I got that confused. It's also called Ryujo. So there's it's also another thing you gotta learn. Another factoid right there. Ninth hierarchical city of Akiso-ko is named after Hyakusuhiko-no-Kami. The 10th hierarchical city of Akiso-otsu is actually named after Hyakusuhime-no-Kami. So basically, it's kind of weird because to say because Akisu-ko and there's Akisu-otsu, and so Akisu-ko is correlated to Hyakusuhiko. Akisu-otsu is actually named after Hyakusuhime. So basically, and the differentiation between Hiko and Hime is that, you know, Hiko's the boy, Hime is the girl. So if you were to, you can count them twins if you want to. The 11th hierarchical city of Shinatsu is named after Shinatsuhiko-no-Kami. It's basically another name for Fujin. As I said before, Fujin and Raijin are respectively both a wind god and a thunder god, because their names technically mean, because Fujin technically means wind god, Fujin. 12th hierarchical city of Kukunochi is actually named after Kukunochi-no-Kami. And I wish I could have gone into more depth with these gods, but understandably, there's not much to say about them. Really, there isn't much to say about them, because like they're known, but there's so little info about them. And if I were to go through all of them, this video would take way too long. So I'm sorry, I had to dumb down everything for you guys. It's just it's too long to go through. Like I would have to go through like this would have been an hour if I went through in every depth of every god. And hey, we reached the 13th hierarchical city of Kagatsuchi, but I already talked about it before in the previous video about 9's Hino Kagatsuchi, so I really don't have to say it. But if I were to, to refresh the people's minds, Kagatsuchi was basically the god that burnt Izanami to death and, killed her in the first place. And yeah, it's pretty much that. Like, and funny, it's the 13th city. 13 is always seen as a bad number, and I don't know if that counts in Japan. But 13 is seen as an unlucky number, and how was it funny that Izanami's third kid was the one that killed him? Well, killed her, technically. Funny enough, they still had kids afterwards. They were still able to produce gods, after Izanami just went dead. So yeah, they were still able to produce more gods. The 14th hierarchical city is Nozuchi. It's named after Nozuchi-no-Kami. The 15th hierarchical city of Torifune is named after Ame-no Torifune-no-Kami. The 16th hierarchical city of Ogetsu is named after Ogetsu-no-Kami. The 17th hierarchical city of Yamatsumi is named after Oyamatsumi-no-Kami. There's a lot of no-kamis I gotta go through. The 18th hierarchical city of Kanayama-Yamabiko is named after Kanayamabiko-no-Kami. And this is gods, because this god starts the trend of, gross gods being born from Izanami's gross stuff. Because this was the first god that was born from Izanami's feces and vomit. I know, it's refreshing to know that, because, Izanami was dying and freaking convulsing, and she crapped and vomited and peed everywhere, so yeah. Kanayama-Yamabiko was the first one to be born from Izanami's crap and puke. Yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. The 19th hierarchical city of Kanayama-Yamabime is named after Kanayamabimo-no-Kami, and also is another guy born from Izanami's feces and vomit. The 20th hierarchical city of Hanayasu-Yasubiko is named after Hanayasubiko-no-Kami, a god born from Izanami's feces. I can't take this seriously, man. The 21st hierarchical city of Hanayasu-Yasubimo is named after Hanayasubimo-no-Kami, a god born from Izanami's feces. The 22nd hierarchical city of Mizuha is named after Mitsuhime-no-Kami, god born from Izanami's urine. And last but not least, the final hierarchical city is the 23rd hierarchical city of Wakumusubi, named after Wakumusubi-no-Kami, a god born from Izanami's urine. And with that, that pretty much marks every single mythological thing in BlazBlue thus far. At least every Japanese mythology thing. And if I missed one, I can't blame me because there's a lot to go through. But other than that, I think that's it. That's every mythological thing, well, Japanese mythological thing in BlazBlue thus far. I may do Norse and I may do Norse another time, but other than that, that's all, guys. I will see you all next time, and I just gotta go wash the impurities out of my mouth from having to say Izanami's feces all the time.